Hi, this video is for water signs, water element, water energies, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. So it could be your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or just, if you have a lot of water energy in your chart. And this video is for you. So I thought I'd just do a couple cards for the month of February, maybe more so the next few weeks, or whenever you find this video. Messages, they apply to a broad spectrum of people, but not always at the same time. We're not always going through the same thing at the same time, so see what does apply to you, and maybe something else will apply later. Just sort of keep an open mind, and we're just going to see how different energies are mixing for the water signs, the water element. So one card for the water signs, the highest and greatest good of all. One card for water signs. Abundance. It's a really, really great card. On the bottom is kind of the opposite, but it also works together. Indolence, Eight of Cups. But it doesn't necessarily always mean, maybe you drank too much and having regrets, needing to walk away from something. It does not always mean that. It can just mean maybe in the past you walked away from something and that you regret, and now you have the opportunity. The opportunity is presenting itself to you to grab hold of something that you've always wanted. The Three of Cups is abundance of love. It's usually, three people coming together, celebration of something, joy. I think of happiness, 3 days. Maybe that's significant to you. Things in threes, cycles, sisters, just feminine energy and abundance of it. Yeah, I think it's, I think of like these flowers that are, let's see, they're pouring water, I guess, into these cups, and they're overflowing. They kind of also, just maybe because of the color, look like spotlights, like almost like the light is turning into water. So overall, it's just, happy, joyous emotion coming together with people, celebrating something. It can also mean pregnancy, celebrating the birth of something. But it really could just, be grabbing drinks with friends after work and taking the time to do that and just enjoy life. Maybe leaving behind work, maybe happy hour drinks, after work drinks. I guess this combination comes with a bit of a warning not to overdo it, not to drink too much, and have regrets the next day, maybe a hangover. But also it just, it just means, having a good time and knowing when's enough, and getting home safely and responsibly. But since they're both cups, they, it has to do with emotion too, feelings and connection to others and time. So also together they become an 11. An 11 is a master number, along with 22 and 33, sometimes 44. And it's a gateway, so it's the entrance to something. So maybe walking into a place where you can get drinks and, or leaving, maybe crossing paths with someone, or maybe just, walking through the door, taking that first step towards, having more of a social life or something. It's something I should probably do myself, but anyways, I just see the water, happiness and unhappiness, not necessarily unhappiness, maybe it's just travel, maybe it's like a farewell party kind of thing, like someone's going away, so you're getting together with people. These cups look like those 60s like glassware that look like, blown glass grapes or something. I just heard grapes of wrath. I don't even know anything about that. Maybe it's just the fact that this deck is in an Art Deco illustrated. But I just keep thinking of Great Gatsby in that time period. So, kind of like that, the time, the Great Depression, happiness, maybe overdoing it, also with, the drinks, prohibition, 8, since it has to do with perhaps the 8th house. Scorpio also is a water sign, and it's the 8th sign in the zodiac. So the 8th house has to do with partnership. So maybe walking away from a partnership or going, meeting someone at an event, going out for drinks with them. But also like death and taxes. So when I was saying what I was saying before, which was on the train of thought. Taxes, prohibition, that kind of thing, and having fun while it lasts. Or making up for lost time, that kind of thing. That could be fun. It has to do with emotions. Maybe you're meeting someone from your past and just, rekindling a flame, or just talking about things from the past, memories, good times, just kind of picking up where you left off with someone. Maybe that's picking up where you left off, where you walked away, picking up where you left off, and just being a great time and having fun, and so I'm doing an I Ching card for water signs, water energy. Two. This does represent, I know, the feminine energy in the I Ching, so, which is also like the High Priestess, the moon in the tarot. That feminine water energy that controls the tides, that, it's the feeling, it's all the good and bad feelings that come from emotion, recognizing feelings, being intuitive, being able to see beyond, see behind the veil kind of situation, be very psychic, but really just it's that receptive feminine energy, hence the symbolism, the imagery. It's just very feminine, my hair, as I said, feminine, but it's that sensual, sort of receptive, allowing energy that just kind of goes with the tides and moves with change. So, like a fish. Ups and downs, but ultimately, like, beautiful, working together. Sorry, it's hard when you can see yourself and you want to fix your hair, but on the bottom is card 52. Immediately thought of my mom's birthday. She was born in 52. It's also 7, so it's kind of maybe, yeah. I see the mountain, getting to the top of the mountain and then going back down, travel a bit. Maybe you're traveling to see someone, traveling to see your mom. But yeah, I guess together it's pretty self-explanatory. It's that yin and yang energy. It's the feminine and the masculine. I don't even know what this card is, but I'm assuming it's that balance, you know, between your more masculine qualities and your more feminine qualities, and that same kind of energy having a balance too, where it's more action doing versus the more receptive, feminine, allowing energy. So finding balance, finding harmony, ways of using everything around you and your situation and looking at it from both perspectives, and seeing how, you know, approaching your situation, your next 10 minutes, how, you know, they can be more in sync with each other. You're wanting to go do things, you're more action-minded, more maybe aggressive side of yourself versus your more feminine, relaxed, intuitive. It's connecting the logic and the intuition to just really change your perception about your environment, and finding out how you can do that for you. You know, it's going to be different for everyone else, how you can kind of, that switch, you know, that light bulb switch, that, you know, when something, all of a sudden you have those aha moments and those, you know, oh, okay, now it makes sense kind of thing, the point at which knowledge turns into understanding of something. That's like the two sides of your mind working together. So, you know, things are connecting and making sense. 'Cause you're, you know, it's that travel again, which I also said, this card reminded me of a mountain. So, you know, as well, getting to the peak, which was also in another reading talking about a mountain and getting to the peak and the climb up. Now you're here, so where are you going to, you know, you're only halfway through. You have to now descend the mountain. So it's like before you were having used so much force, and now it's more going with this downward slope, maybe, going with the gravity, going, you know, going back down to earth, finding stability, perhaps. Maybe in friends and social life as well, balancing work and social life. Yeah, and then the last deck I was going to use, I've already shuffled and pulled 3 cards because it goes with planets, signs, and houses, and so you pull one for each, and I just thought it might take too long, and but I haven't looked at them yet. And the first one is for planets, the sun. These are maybe energies that are important for some reason, or I think of maybe like solar energy, however that applies to you. It's yourself, how you project yourself, how you see yourself in the world, and that sort of, you know, focus in Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius, that's why it's kind of funny to me. Sagittarius is a fire sign, mutable fire sign, so, and it's in the 11th house. And that is the house of networking and social priorities, social networking, technology, connecting, basically. And Sagittarius, usually it's 9th house ruled, having to do with higher education, higher learning, and spirituality, religion, just expansion, basically, because it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is all just about expansion and luck, and so expanding your network, expanding your connections, expanding your mind. And again, the sun is all about you and how you see yourself in the world, and really like your ego a bit, and just the things that you associate with yourself. So you don't have to be a sun sign, water sign here. Just however you see yourself, expanding, and maybe how to get that out into the world for others to engage with, to be seen, to get your artwork maybe out there, or just, expanding your social network, your social circle, your mindset. These are also divided up between action and doing, so that's kind of what we were talking about here with the I Ching, between action and doing, and more spiritual, reflective, intuitive advice. And then those are further divided up by each one having 3: spiritual, mental, and physical, like advice to think about taking kind of thing. So you just kind of go across and connect them. And so I'll read the feminine, the more watery, intuitive advice. The creation of insights to understand freedom. That is the spiritual advice. The mental spiritual advice is the gaining of respect for or from the wisdom of associations. And physical advice to take, perhaps think over. Maybe you're thinking about joining a gym or something. Things brought to life or light resulting from the understanding of your circle of friends. The actions to take, the doing energy, is demonstrate your highest ideals for humanity's sake. It's a little bit heavy. Mental, realize the rules of your hopes and wishes. So realize limitations so you can kind of target them and figure out how to incorporate them or work around them. Your hopes and wishes, what you want to learn, what you hope to gain from whatever it is you're undertaking. And physical, act like a leader, get it out into the world, and do it for the future. Makes me think of the quote that I mentioned somewhere, I think in my playlist, that my latest playlist, which I'll put the link below, but it is something having to do with a wise man, maybe, is one that lives for the next generation. So I think it's kind of honing in on your true talents and your gifts, and using your intuition and your logic and your discernment, and trying to figure out how those work together to, create abundance, prosperity for yourself, maybe, or just to find more time to fit in a social life, or, for love even, and figuring out that balance so it's like working perfectly in sync. And I forgot where I was going with that, but just seeing how to get that, use that, all your resources and your connections, whether they're internal connections, the past, present, your situation, or people in your life, however, whatever you have at your fingertips to work with, see how it can be incorporated into your life, into your project, into your work, into your hopes and your wishes, and then demonstrate them, get them out into the world. So it's a lot of like fiery, action-oriented connections. So it's like that, finding that initial spark that makes you want to just move and get things out there, to get yourself out there, and have a good time and find just abundance, but maybe don't go overboard. But yeah, I will put the descriptions for the I Ching below, because because they're kind of long. And also, I was going to, I'm doing a bonus video because I had mentioned this book in my earlier readings, and I happened to find it on my shelf, which was weird. But yeah, I thought I'd do another sort of reading just for each element, and read a page of the places you'll go, maybe as inspiration, but as a prelude to that, I do another globe turn and maybe find some sort of destination that water signs might be interested in going, looking into, researching, being inspired by. What location for water signs? Well, that's the water. Sometimes things are very literal. But it's closest to Mexico, Nicaragua. And yeah, it's kind of hard to read. Do one more, maybe, water signs want to be flexible. Same place. So maybe you're thinking of taking a cruise. This happened before in another reading. But that would probably be fun and relaxing. Getaway, cruise. And I said this reminds me of like 60s glassware. So I think of like a cruise, maybe cruise season. But yeah, cruise kind of in that retro but glamorous sort of like 50s or even earlier, like the Great Gatsby time. Art Deco, just glitz and glam, Titanic even, kind of dresses. Maybe it's just learning about that or seeing yourself in that time period. But sorry if this is going all over the place. I'm trying to, it's a general reading, so I try to look at every, possibility, perspective, and try to sum it up pretty quickly. Yeah, I think overall it's just, finding the joy, finding the balance, and possibly taking a trip to down to Mexico on a cruise. I actually randomly won a cruise to the Bahamas. It had a weird sort of lead up to as I got that phone call, so it seemed like a very fated event. Just thought of the Bermuda Triangle for some reason. Triangle, which makes me think of trines and things working in sync with each other. In an astrological birth chart, if you have a trine, you can think of the birth chart as like a dinner table, and all the different planets are, talking to each other, kind of thing, the different energies going back and forth. Oops. So basically, yeah, if you have a trine, it just means that the different energies are like able to see each other clearly at a table and communicate clearly. So it's just like ease of communication, and I think that's also, what this is speaking to, which is just, being yourself when you're out in public, and just ease of communication and letting yourself be, talk about what you want to talk about, get into conversation, have conversation, get out there and find that ease of communication, find, different ways to communicate and different ways to express yourself, and find the blessings in each day, find where the abundance is in your life, and see how, you can leave out the baggage, move forward, because that's what this card represents, is waiting for you. So yeah, it's about finding those connections, those ways of Maybe it's even just within yourself, but usually eventually outwardly as well. And just those connections, those ease of communication, taking in the knowledge, finding ways of putting yourself out there, yeah, finding that balance within, so that then you can then go out and yeah, be your best self, and grow and expand yourself, your inner knowledge, your communication, see where you can expand, see where you could be focusing your energy a little bit more, and just finding that abundance in all areas. So, yeah, so I hope this was helpful, and yeah, let me know if there's anything that resonated for you. And again, this is for the next few weeks, but whenever you see this video, perhaps it's, the right time for you, since we're not all going through the same thing at the same time, and messages are broad, but kind of have to work with time. And so this might apply to you later, but yeah, I hope it was somewhat helpful or somewhat fun to watch, and I'll talk to you later.